So I've been doing a lot of research on cultures in America, specifically black cultures, and I came across the Gullah Geechee people, and a lot of people don't know about the Gullah Geechee people. The name Gullah may have come from the word Gola. The Gola tribe were rice-growing people of West Africa. They were resilient to hardships and diseases like malaria and yellow fever, which ultimately led to them being simply left to their own devices, which enabled them to nurture their African culture. They say that the Gullah Geechee people in the Sea Islands were brought over in the transatlantic slave trade from West Africa. From the 1500s to the 1800s, merchants transported approximately 12 million Africans across the Atlantic as human property. The most common routes formed what is now known as the Triangle Trade, connecting Europe, Africa, and the Americas. From 1560 to 1850, about 4.8 million enslaved people were transported to Brazil, 4.7 million were sent to the Caribbean, and at least 388,000, or 4% of those who survived the Middle Passage, arrived in North America. Charleston, South Carolina, was North America's largest transatlantic slave trade port of entry. As a result, many Black Americans today can identify at least one ancestor who was trafficked through Charleston. While I was doing the research, I found out that the West Africans that were brought over here were experts in rice cultivation and tidal irrigation, which made rice one of the most successful industries in early America. Carolina Gold is a long-grain rice variety that originated in Africa and was first popularized in South Carolina in the 1780s. Carolina Gold was the most popular rice in the U.S. in the 19th century, and by 1850, South Carolina was producing around 160 million pounds annually. It was a key ingredient in Southern Atlantic coast cuisine and was exported to England, the West Indies, and even India. They say the Gullah Geechee culture has held on to more of their Africanisms than any other African American culture in the United States.
Come and let's play together in the bright sunny weather.
Let's all go to Gullah Gullah Island. Gullah Gullah Island.
Well, I dressed my dolls like people from Africa.
It's pretty cool the way the head wrap matches the clothes.
Well, a lot of people from Africa wrap their heads in the same fabric they use to make their clothing. The head wrap is called a gale.
So I wanted to read something out of The Souls of Black Folk by W.B. Du Bois. He says, "The sea islands of the Carolinas where they met were filled with a black folk of primitive type, touched and molded less by the world about them than any other outside the Black Belt. Their appearance was uncouth, their language funny, but their hearts were human, and their singing stirred men with a mighty power." These songs are the articulate message of the slave to the world. They are the music of an unhappy people, of the children of disappointment. They tell of death and suffering and unvoiced longing toward a truer world, of misty wanderings and hidden ways. No matter what we go through, we prevail. We always come out on top. And you can't tell the story of America without the history of the South. And there is no Southern history without Gullah Geechee history.